What's up, guys? It's me again, Christian Rodriguez, and today I want to talk about how to deal with an aggressive person, right? So, a little background on me, right? I've read the 48 Laws of Power, I've read the Laws of Human Nature, I've experienced people like this in the past, and I would say that I have a pretty good idea on how to deal with someone like this, right? So, people like this, they might be someone that you knew, maybe it could have been a friend, right? It could have even been a girlfriend or a boyfriend if you're watching. If you're a girl watching this, maybe a boyfriend, right? But the point is, like, how do you deal with such a person like this, right? Because before I get into it, right, dealing with like such an aggressive person, right, it can drain your energy, right? It can drain your energy. It can. It almost feels like you're walking on eggshells, right? Like you take one wrong step and they explode, right? Now, first of all, the best thing you can do to deal with this type of person, it's not to occasionally see them. I'm not even going to tell you to create distance. What I'm going to tell you to do is to cut them off completely. Lose their number, uh cut off contact with them. You don't need to ever see them again, right? You don't need to pretend like you guys are cool with each other because people like this, right? Now, if you've read the 48 Laws of Power, right? Avoid the unhappy and unlucky, Law 10, right? Now, there's different forms of the Law 10, but this one is like the most destructive one. This one will just they'll try to use brute force. They'll use they'll try to use aggression like volatility to get leverage, right? Whenever they feel maybe slighted, disrespected, or they feel challenged, right? Their default go-to is to use aggression to win, right? Maybe to humiliate you, maybe so they feel like they got one up on you, right? And think about it, when someone acts aggressive, right? When someone acts like overly aggressive, what do you think that is, right? They're they likely have some sort of inadequacy that they're dealing with, maybe some sort of discomfort, right? Maybe they have some sort of they have something that they dealt with. They have something maybe from their childhood. They have some sort of trauma that they were dealing with. Like if you read the Laws of Human Nature, Green really gets really into this type of personality. But basically, yeah, it's just maybe they had some sort of childhood trauma and they still haven't like put up with it. They still haven't, like they still haven't moved on from it and they somehow feel inadequate. So they project it on others, right? They project it on others with aggression, right? Whenever they feel like they're losing frame or they feel like they don't feel like an alpha or whatever it is, they start acting out, right? With aggression to get control. And as I said, these are the people that you need to completely cut off. Like keep these people away. Don't even I'm not going to tell you to create distance. I'm telling you to cut them off completely, right? Because these people will drain you. Even if nothing physical happens, they will drain you. Their presence, right? Because you'll feel like you have to manage around them. You'll feel like, oh, I can't relax around them. I've been like, you've had those people, right? That you feel like you've been around people that you just feel like you're on edge around them, right? You don't feel relaxed. You feel like tighter, right? That's not a good person to be around. I don't know about you. That fucking sucks. Like we live about what 70, 80 years and that's not even guaranteed, right? We don't know when our last days on earth. Why the fuck are we going to spend it with people who are going to drain our energy, right? People who are just terrible to be around. Like so don't put up with people like that. If someone shows their true colors and their true face, you have to get rid of them. And I mean that, right? I don't care if you've known them for years. I don't care if, because this is the thing. We tend, us humans, right? We tend to do this. Even I've done this in the past, right? Humans, we love to keep people around, even though we've seen signs, and we love to justify that. Oh no, it's because of this, it's because of that, and we're still friends. We've known each other for years, or we've been boyfriend and girlfriend for years, so we should be fine together. Dude, I'm telling you, these people are terrible to be around, right? And it's just, yeah, I've experienced. I've had a friend. I've dealt with people like this in the past. Especially, I've had a friend like this, probably a little too long than I wanted to, right? And and it was just draining to be around him, right? It was completely draining. It wasn't even worth it, right? And there was like complete envy under it too, under his behavior, and like it would come out when he was drunk, right? That's like the worst type of person to be around. And aggression is not the worst thing, right? I'm not saying aggression's bad. So think of aggression like this, right? I'm going to give you an example. So imagine a hammer, right? A hammer could do two things, right? So one person with a hammer can use it to build a house for a group of orphans, right? And another person could use that hammer to murder people, right? It's still a hammer, but they're used for different purposes. And that's how you have to think of aggression, right? Aggression's actually a good thing, right? Aggression could get things done. Aggression used at the right time can maybe project leadership, project maybe you need to use it at times, right? But it's controlled aggression. But when it's like when you're just around someone who's volatile and completely angry, and they have to one up, or they have to, you know, use aggression to feel like they're under control, that's a shit person to be around. And I don't know about you, but I don't have time to be around shit people like that, right? This is the type of person that surrounds themselves with yes men, right? This is the type of person that people are probably scared to be honest around this person, because this person's probably gonna lash out, right? And it's it's a it's a deep insecurity thing. You know how I would know? Because I've been that guy in the past, right? And it's something that's why I really talk about controlling your emotions, because it's something that I've experienced myself. So I've experienced it with myself, and I've also experienced it with other people. It's it stems from insecurity. It stems from feeling inadequate, right? So I would know. It stems from that. And then reading it from the laws of human nature on depth, and that's exactly what it means. It means feeling inadequate in something, and you have to project your aggression onto someone, right? So if someone like shows their true colors once, right? Maybe they show a pattern. Maybe they're like really cool. They're fine. Maybe you have fun with them, right? Maybe you even, you go out, you drink with them, right? Whatever it is. Or if it's a girl and you have like amazing sex with her, right? And she's a freak in the bed sheets, whatever it is, right? Or if it's a guy, you could substitute, if you're a girl watching this, substitute it with a guy, right? So they could be amazing in that, and then in one moment, and then another moment they get super angry, or they get aggressive off of something, right? That's a shit person to be around. And yeah, if you guys want to learn more about that, I highly recommend you read The Laws of Human Nature. Robert Greene talks about it more in depth. I think it's in the Patterns Law. I forgot which law. It's been a while since I've read the book, but it's a good read. It's a long read, but I highly recommend it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna keep creating more content like this. Subscribe and take care.